Am I the a-hole for making a scene after my sister-in-laws announced their pregnancies at my birthday as a gift? My 24 female boyfriend, 24 male, has two sisters, Emily 30 female and Diane 32 female. They are both married and trying for a baby. Diane announced her first pregnancy at Mother's Day this year. She gifted her mother a baby shoe and a positive pregnancy test. Everyone was happy, and even more when Emily told everyone that she was also trying for a baby. Later that evening, I texted them both saying, "Congratulations, I'm happy for you." It's a bit weird for me and my boyfriend because we recently learned that I'm sterile. I hope it didn't cut the mood, but I'm really excited for you both. They sent me some texts reassuring me and everything went well. Sadly, Diane lost her baby 2 months after this party. Fast forward to last week. We, mother-in-law, both sister-in-laws and I, met for a girls' night. My mother-in-law wanted to organize a party for my birthday, so she asked me if that's okay for me and what do I want. I said fine, but birthdays are tough for me. When I grew up, my parents always made my birthdays about them. They never invited my friends or close family. They always invited their colleagues and friends, and they had big parties where they drank a lot of alcohol. So after, I wanted to be sure to have a small party with close family, 12 persons, and nothing really big. The party was yesterday. I was helping my mother-in-law when both my sister-in-laws and their husbands arrived. They both also brought their in-laws and some friends. So what was supposed to be a small party ended up with more than 40 persons. My mother-in-law was a bit fuming because we had to go buy more drinks and foods for uninvited guests. The party went well until it was gift time. I opened gift for my mother-in-law and father-in-law, then one for my boyfriend. It was sweet. Next, my sister-in-laws gifted me one small package for them both, which is fine as I asked for small gifts if they were willing to give one. I opened it, and it was a small size shirt, a more XL, and as saying best future aunt. There was also written with a marker pen ×2. The package also contained 2 positive pregnancy tests and a photo of them both touching their bellies. I looked them in the eye asking, "Are you pregnant?" They both said yes. Emily took the shirt out of my hands and showed it to everyone. As I was starting to cry, I ran outside, my boyfriend following me. I had a panic attack. When I came back, everyone was happy and they were all congratulating the pregnant couples. I felt really sad. My boyfriend talked to his parents and we left the party without saying anything to anybody else. I received, in the evening, some nasty texts from some of my boyfriend's family saying things like, "Why did you ruin their announcement? It was only a birthday party. Please grow up." I do feel bad. My boyfriend is planning on telling them to buzz off, but I don't want him to ruin his relationships with his family. My father-in-law and mother-in-law called me to apologize, saying things got out of hand. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. It's your party and you can cry if you want to. I think your sister-in-laws both knew that you can't have children, right? Why would they want to co-opt your birthday to make it about them? And then not be compassionate when you got emotional? I don't know if everyone in your boyfriend's family are a-holes, but whoever sent you the text about ruining the announcement certainly is. The other ones may just be a little tone-deaf. They knew it. But when I first messaged them about my sterility, I told them that I'm happy for any pregnancy, and I don't want them to change anything just for accommodating me. Maybe they've seen this as a green light for what happened at my birthday party? I think they're feeling bad, because they haven't texted me anything yet, so maybe they understand that they hurt me. I really don't know. No, it's not a green light at all. It's still your birthday party, about you. Not wanting to change anything does not mean smearing your pain in your face. And not apologizing? Clearly they might see you're hurt, but certainly don't feel like they're wrong. So they learned you can't have kids, and really thought that announcing their pregnancies at your birthday party was a good idea? That is unbelievably cruel. Whether they're intentionally doing it or not, it really sounds like they're rubbing it in your face and expecting, no, demanding you be okay with it. Like, oh, sucks you can't have kids, but we can, so be happy for us. Both you and your boyfriend are not the a-hole here. Everyone else is, especially the sister-in-laws. Not even just announce it, but turn it into their gift with peed-on pregnancy tests. Like, it wouldn't have been so bad if at some point at a party they shared their news, since it was a family gathering, but the way they did it is just cringe. Definitely not the a-hole. Next story. Am I the a-hole for only taking my nieces in and not their dad after my sister passed away? My female 33, sister female 36, passed away a month ago because of cancer. It's devastating, and words can't express how we feel. Her husband struggled to pay off debts and has asked me and my husband to take him and my nieces, ages 13 and 16, in for some time. I have to say, I'm not on good terms with him. We've had more than our fair share of disagreements in the past. He tried to sue me and my husband for my own mother's house, which I'm living in with my husband and daughter. But he claimed he needed money to pay for my sister's treatment, and this was the only way to get it after we, my brother and I, refused to help. It's a long story, but we're not in good terms. So I agreed to only take my nieces in, but not him. He tried to negotiate this, saying his daughters are grieving and need him, their remaining parent, to be around. I said he could see them during visits, and that was it. My husband agreed with me at first. Then my brother-in-law showed up with my nieces days ago, and I only let the girls in but turned him away after he tried to talk me into letting him stay. We had a huge argument, and the girls went inside crying after their dad left, repeatedly saying they want him. My husband is backing out of this, saying we might be making a mistake separating the girls from their dad when they're grieving. My aunt berated me, saying I messed up entirely here. I argued that it's my home, and I don't feel comfortable with him staying after what he's done. She called me selfish and bitter and said I'm making it more difficult for the girls who just lost their mom. Now the girls are quiet, but my 16-year-old niece keeps arguing about wanting her dad with them. My husband still thinks we're making a mistake and making the girls resent me for what I did to their dad who's grieving. Not the a-hole. While it stinks that you can't be 100% supportive for the girls, it's his fault. You have to protect yourself. He's sued once. If he starts living there and establishes residency, he could try to squat. If other family are upset, they can take them in. It's OP's choice to help or not. I do not see the reason why she should let someone hostile to her live in the same house. I think it's already a lot that she offered to take in the girls while she did not have to. Yes, it's her sister's kids, but honestly, not everybody would do that in the same situation. If he wants to stay with the kids, he needs to find another arrangement. He is the parent, not OP, not the a-hole. We're all making the assumption it's actually OP's house. She even states it's her mother's house that they are living in. Oddly worded. She never once says she inherited a house, and bets money the inheritance is in question. I see a lot of YTA posts, but I'll risk the downvotes to say, this guy sued you. Was there any merit to it? Sounds like it was found in your favor. I wouldn't want him in my house either. The problem is, once he moves in, he's a tenant, and you can't force him out. Then you're even more of a perceived jerk for making them homeless if it becomes intolerable. He did not abide by your terms, but showed up on your doorstep with no plan except to beg you, even though you told him what you could agree to. He said okay, but then tried to make it suit him. All these relatives could take him in or support him, right? Why is it all on you? Your brother-in-law is presumably in his mid to late 30s and only sought help from you? It's all on one estranged sister-in-law? This is an impossible situation, and frankly, nothing you would have done would have been enough. How can you ask him for money for the higher food, /utility/gas expenses when he's grieving and broke? How can you not give him your car to get around when he's grieving and broke? How can you ask him about getting a job and getting back on his feet when he's grieving and broke? If your relatives wanted to help, they could send him money and help him get on his feet, rather than come after you to take on a family. I can't judge this, because in some ways you are an a-hole, and in some ways you are being completely irrational, not wanting an enemy in your house for a long indeterminate amount of time and at your expense. But you were willing to help out the children and did not abandon them. You were willing to help up to your boundary, and your husband agreed. The flying monkeys just don't want the burden back on them, so they will come after you hard, as pressuring you is the easier solution than writing him a check or taking him in. You're voicing the concern I also have. He sued OP once over a tenancy of the house. Once he moves in and stays more than a few weeks, he is a tenant. Getting rid of a tenant is not easy. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not giving half of my mom's inheritance to my cousin? Plus update. I-37 male was approached by my uncle, trustee of my grandmother's estate, 95 female still alive, a month ago, and was told that her irrevocable life insurance trust, ILIT, of $800,000 was to be split equal between him, $400,000, and my mom $400,000 upon my grandmother's death. My grandmother pays the premium each year out of her estate. Now, sadly, my mother died of cancer 2 years ago, and per the rules of the ILIT, I have become the sole beneficiary of my mom's portion of $400,000. Now, a week after being told of this trust, I received a call from my uncle stating that it was now my grandmother's wishes that I give his son, my cousin, 32 male, $200,000 of the $400,000 I inherited from my mom. When asked what money he will be giving his son, my cousin, out of his portion of the $400,000, he said nothing. He will keep the full $400,000 because he is the son of my grandmother. If I were to agree, he would have me sign a contract saying I will give up $200,000, as legally he cannot change the rules of the trust or me as a beneficiary. Fast forward another week, and now I'm getting angry calls from my grandmother who has dementia, saying that she wants my cousin and I to have equal money, $200,000 each. It has evolved from $100,000 to $2,000 and now $200,000. She isn't able to articulate where the money is coming from. It alludes to it coming from me, my money, my will. My grandmother seems to have no knowledge of the trust being the source of the money, making it clear that my uncle has been coaching her and hiding the details of how the trust money is being dispersed. To make matters personally worse, my grandmother recently asked if I wanted to be written out of the family because I'm being greedy. I have also received a text from my aunt, uncle's wife, saying that I'm a bad grandson and have no relationship with my grandmother, etc. All untrue. I love my grandmother dearly and want this to stop. Now, another issue is that my uncle is saying that there will be no money in her estate. Well, at the time of her death due to her high cost of living, jazz band, movie theater, and 5-star restaurant and lobby at her retirement villa. And thus, no money for me or my cousin will be available from her estate. This is why he wants my mom's and my inheritance to be split up for his son, who he says will get nothing from my grandmother. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to split my mom's portion of her inheritance of $400,000? Now my portion due to her death, with my uncle's son, my cousin? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole and lawyer up. Your uncle is up to something not good. I'm going to consult today. This is elder abuse. Your uncle is greedy and manipulating your grandmother. You are technically inheriting from your mom, and your cousin can inherit from his dad. If your uncle wants your cousin to have money, he can pass down what granny leaves to him. Your cousin is lucky to still have both his parents. You don't have that privilege, but that in no way requires you to share your mother's inheritance. If anything, it's a small conciliation for being without her. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole, but this sounds like a red flag for elder mistreatment. Please report it to the authorities. Please. My father has been pushing me to do just this. I'm an attorney, although not yours. This definitely sounds like elder mistreatment, and most police departments have a special unit that investigates. Some states also have adult protective services, which may be applicable here given that you say your grandma has dementia. Report this now, before it becomes a huge probate issue when your grandma eventually passed away. Edit. Thanks to all who have put in their advice. It's amazing to get an unbiased opinion. I have a consultation with an attorney at 1:30 p.m. today. We'll update all upon further guidance. Update. Spoke with attorney. Uncle is clearly in the wrong. It's an irrevocable trust and was set up this way and not to be changed. The money is solely mine as the beneficiary of my mother who passed. There is no legal standing my uncle has to demand the scheme he concocted. I have no obligation to do anything. If he wants his son to have money, then he can give him money. Not my mom's, nor my responsibility. He said my uncle is being very greedy. He suggested I ask for a copy of the trust, and if it's not received, then he will demand it in a legal letter. As for the elder mistreatment, he said my uncle is definitely unduly influencing my grandmother against his fiduciary duties. He suggested I speak with my cousin and see if he can calm my uncle down to give him a last shot of coming to his senses. If the calls increase from my grandmother, then I could register a mistreatment claim and take further legal action. Last story. Am I the a-hole for asking our daughter to spend less time with her boyfriend? A year ago, my husband, 62 male, and I, 64 female, became semi-empty nesters once my daughter, 26 female, moved out of our home and to her first apartment. We miss her a ton, but it's been great to see her grow up. We still have our son 20 May left in the house, and we are waiting until he graduates so my husband and I can hopefully move abroad one day. A few months ago, my daughter has started dating someone, but we haven't even had a chance to meet him yet, and learning about her boyfriend has been like pulling teeth. We only found out she was dating when she sent a picture of herself to us one day. It looked like someone else had took it, and we asked who did. She said a friend. We asked who that friend was. When my daughter left home, she didn't have any friends at the time, and it was nice to hear she had made one. Even then, she beat around the bush giving details about who this friend was and how she met them. Anyway, we eventually learned of her boyfriend, but we have noticed she is spending lots of time with him. When we invite her to hang out with us on the weekend, she always declines and says she has something planned with her new beau. When we chat on the phone, she is often with her boyfriend at home, or out and about and so on. I understand this is her first relationship, and surely she is very excited, but it hurts a bit that she suddenly has no time for us. Last time we spoke on the phone, I jokingly said after she declined our last invite, "You know you can still spend time with your old parents, right?" But she took it much seriously than I intended. Is it so wrong to ask our daughter to spend more time together? Just some thoughts. The fact that you didn't allow her to date until 20 is ridiculous. It's also ridiculous you believe that this is her first relationship. Newsflash, she got used to hiding things from you. Why don't you leave her alone and work on whatever parts of how you treat her make her feel she has to do this? You're the a-hole. Seriously, when Opie said learning about her boyfriend is like pulling teeth, I was ready to say, take a hint. Your daughter doesn't want to tell you stuff. You may want to reflect on that. Gave me flashbacks to when I started dating my now husband. I had a horrible relationship with my father as a child, and the second I moved out of the house, I tried to keep my life as private as possible from them. A decade later and we're much happier. But damn, when you have a hyper-controlling parent, especially around dating, you become an expert at hiding things. Ugh, I really feel for Opie's daughter. Opie, if you read this, please try to at least take this to heart. The further you pry, the more you push your daughter away. I eventually cut all contact with my parents for nearly 4 years because they did exactly what you were doing. I only approached them because I needed to heal and move on. You are hurting your daughter so much. Please stop and let her live her life before it's too late. You're the a-hole, but you can easily stop being one. Please do.